today we are going to start the system security. Okay, so what do you understand by system security? Have you ever secured any systems till now or not?
Yes, sir, I have one system.
Yes, what you know about a system security? System hacking, system security, how to hack the system sort of things. Yes, I would like to know all things. Yes, please go ahead. Give me answers.
Sir, to keep the data safe in the system.
Yes, but if your system is not secure, then it is going to be hacked by someone else. Then how to secure, how to provide your system is very secure. That's what I want to know. That how can you say that the system is secure?
By updating the signatures in the antivirus.
Okay, so you can install the endpoint security solution.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Any other things?
We can configure the firewall on the systems as well.
Okay. Any other things you would like to share to me? This we can do in the security of the systems. Basically, it is talking about the operating systems. How do you secure your operating system? Suppose you are working in Windows 2012 or Windows 2016, Windows 2019 server, and you would like to secure the operating system, secure the systems.
So we can use the antivirus, like the enterprise-based, the antiviruses that comes like semantic endpoint protection. So there are encryption-based as well, along with the firewalls to set it up.
Yes, you're right. Okay, great. So how do you secure your, what we consider firewall sort of things? How do you secure your operating system? How do you say that your operating system is secure? What sort of things you require for security? What type of security, what type of offensive or defensive things will be available into the system hacking sort of things? Yes, any ideas? You can say that the system is, is hacking sort of things is happen, or what type of different attacks it will be done. So what is the security into the Windows? What is security in, suppose you are using Windows 10 environment, okay, Windows 10. So what sort of things you're looking for? This is the what's some security. Okay, each server have different sort of things. Okay,
So to make sure like that operating system is running and secure, like we'll have the operating systems up to date.
yes, 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 yes.
Like all the softwares are up to date, all the hardwares are up to date. That is linked with the antivirus which is installed on that operating system. Also,
Yes.
we create the backups for any data that you have on that operating system, and we can create a restore point as well for any kind of corruption happens or any kind of threat that we can look for.
Okay, okay, good. So in this slide, we are just talking about all sort of things. Okay. So once you getting the access, okay. So now we proceed to systems hacking phase. So how do you going to be hacking the system? Okay. So the process of system hacking is much difficult and complex than previous ones. Okay. So before starting the system hacking phase, an ethical hacker or presenter must remember that you cannot gain access to the target system in a go. You must have to wait for what you want, deeply observe the struggle, then you will find some results. Okay. So as a cybersecurity consultant, okay, if you're working in a SOC environment, right? So you need to require the good understanding about the operating systems. If you are good understanding about the particular operating systems, then it is very easy for you to crack the system correctly. Okay. So what are the different ports are open? What are the different systems are working? Okay. So what are different firewalls filtering sort of things is going to work in. So this is sort of things is what is very important aspects we need to understand sometimes. So we have what we have hacked the system in different ways. First of all, what we can system hacking methodologies which talking about here. So we have some cracking password. So what are the different ways of cracking the password? Any ideas you would like to share to me? So this is the things we can cracking the password.
Brute force attacks.
Yes, that's you can do it. Perfect. Okay. And another thing? Any other things you would like to share to me? So this is all things we can do it. Brute force attack is one of them.
Using Metasploit also we can do.
Yes, Metasploit. Right. Shoulder surfing. Keyloggers. Dictionary attacks.
Phishing,
Oh, we are talking about system hacking.
any kind of virus or Trojan that can have the malicious software that attacks the system.
Yes, you can do it. You can do it. Yes, it is one of them. You can use it. So we have to understand what are different ways of particularly doing security, password attacks. So we need to understand the offensive and defensive approach same time. What is the offensive approach? What is the defensive approach? We are just going to use it. Okay. Okay, then we will move further. Maybe things. So we have cracking passwords is one of them. We have escalating privileges. We have different
Sir,
privileges.
have you shared your screen? Sorry.
Oh, okay. So are you able to see the screen? Hello.
Yes, it's good.
Okay, please mute your audios.
Yes, sir.
The systems hacking methodology is basically the process of system hacking is classified into some system hacking methods. Okay, the system methods are also termed as certified secret hacking methodology. by IC Council. Okay, so first thing is cracking the password. Suppose if you're going to log into the system, then you can do anything. Okay, so cracking passwords, we have different ways like brute force attacks, phishing attacks, keyloggers, metasploit tools. We can use it. Okay, and shoulder surfing, we can do it. Okay, so these are the ways we can gonna use it. Okay, escalating privileges. Okay, we can what privileges, what are the provided to the users. Okay, so we can getting access on the privileges side. Execute executing applications. We can execute any applications on the system sides, and we can getting the access. Hiding files. Okay, we were going to hiding some files. Okay, converting tracks. We can just what covering tracks. Okay, so what incident was happened. So both of system hacking is basically in this the legal approach of system hacking, bypassing the access control and policies by password cracking or social engineering attacks will lead to the gain access to the system. Okay, so and the password cracking is one of them, or social engineering attacks. Okay, is one of them to gaining access on the system. Okay, so suppose the social engineering attack. Suppose you're using your date of birth as a password. Okay, so it will be correct. Suppose you're using your OTP. Okay, your credit card or debit card 4-digit number. So it is also the accessibility from the social engineering side as well. Okay, and suppose you are using your marriage anniversary date sort of thing. Okay, so it is the password will be correct in sort of thing same time as well. Okay, so it's the easy casual passwords. So we can do both solo tags sort of things. Okay, so using the operating system informations, it helps to exploit the vulnerabilities of an operating system to escalate the privileges. Once you have gained access to the system and acquired the rights and privileges by executing an application such as Trojans, backdoors, and spywares, an attacker can create a backdoor to maintain the remote access control of the system, okay, target system. Suppose I'm going to install an application named TeamViewer, or I can install uh, the AnyTask, okay. So suppose I will provide you some example. This is AnyTask, okay. So I installed AnyTask, okay, and this is the one system, two system, and three system, okay. So I'm gonna create this particular, going to connect this particular system and connect this one, okay. So this is happen, okay. So you have to find this the participant system, okay. You need to be correct the same time, and then it will be connected system, okay. And the same time in the ping wave, okay. This is a green signal, so it is available. So I'm going to click here. If I'm going to connect here, it is going to connect same time, okay. So it is the permissions will be asking for the participant same times. So what you're going to do is you just bypassing the permissions. That's a simple thing you can do, and then you have remote control of the system. Okay, so I have already what this the keys available. This is properly installed. Okay, and bypassing the permissions. That is simple things you can do it and getting the access in time. So the green signal is not available right now. It is not available, but this green signal is available. We can do it. Okay, so we can install AnyTask. We can install TeamViewer, and once you install into the TeamViewer, okay, and then the ID and password you can configure on the client side. Okay, destination side. So once you're going to provide the same ID and same password, it will be connecting same time without any issues, without interruption any. The remote user will be accepting sort of thing. Okay, so this is also set of things you can go to accept it. Okay, so privileges, the rights and privileges you can access at the same time. Okay, you're gaining the access of systems by executing an application such as Trojans, backdoors, and spyware attacks can create a backdoor to maintain the remote access to the target systems. Now to steal actual information data or any steal of an organizations that hacker needs to hide its malicious activities. Rootkits and stenography are the most common techniques to hide malicious activities. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to install any third-party software into the destination system. Okay, this is the systems available, and I'm going to install any applications. Okay, the third-party applications into this, and I will going to hide this particular applications. So this is the stenography sort of things I'm going to do it. Okay, the stenography is basically hiding the files. Okay, so most common techniques to hide malicious activities, and I'm going to be using rootkits. Okay, so I'm also doing the rootkits and stenography same time. Okay, in the user system. Once an attacker steals the information and remains undetected, the last phase of the system has been undetected by hiding the evidence to compromise the modifying the coloring the locks inside. Okay. So passing password cracking is one first we are just talking about. So before proceeding the password cracking, we should know about three types. Okay, so these are the three types of this. Something I authentication factors. So something I have, something I am, something I possess. Okay, something you are. This is all something I have. Okay, so this the three things is right now we are talking about here. Multi-factor authentications. Okay, so MFA. This comes to the picture. So from MFA, what does it mean? Is what multi-factor authentication. So multi-factor authentication is what happens. So what happens with something I have, like username and password I have. Okay, so you need to what you're going to do. You have getting some sensitive information from the users. Okay, guessing the password sort of things. Like you can go for the roots for attacks and Metasploit tools. You can use it, or you can go for dictionary attacks. Okay, you can go for keyloggers, and okay, this is the sort of things you can gain access. And something I am. Okay, it's like my like biometrics, so I can use the biometrics. Okay, so think biometrics, a fingerprint sensor, retina scanner sort of things. Okay, so your retina scanner, your eye scanner. Okay, your eyes is basically your retina scanner is basically accessibility sort of things. Your fingerprint also, what you have to correct at the same time. Okay, something I possess a light registered all allowed devices. Okay, so I have using some token. Okay, in the previous times RSA tokens is available. Okay, so this is RSA tokens. Basically, the password is changing every second, so you need to be provide the some sort of RSA token sort of things. So in modern time, what happened is something I have, something I am, something I possess. So it is basically it is used as a active battery. Okay, we require some active battery control over Azure cloud. Okay, so it's multi-factor authentication comes to the picture. Here it is. So I will let you know how it looks like. So suppose we are going here. Okay, and I'm going there, and we are going to use some multi-factor authentications. Okay, so it will be asked the questions. Okay, what type of security questions there you need to provide the IP address, okay, sorry, your mobile numbers and your personal Gmail ID, or you can also need to provide some answers of three or four questions answered. Okay, so authentications. Okay, so this is the multi-factor authentications and how it's gonna working. So you can also take a look here. So this is the cloud computing security we're talking about. Okay, so most of the times you're just gonna be working on the cloud computing environment, okay, because the physical instances which physical servers are basically is reduced day by day, and the most of the servers you're just talking about, we are working on the VMware, okay, vSphere clients, VMware clients, virtualized environment, and if you don't have to work on the virtual environment, then you have to work on the cloud environment. Okay. So in the cloud environment, this is a multi-factor authentications we are just talking about here. And in the multi-factor authentication secure your application and data. Okay. So simple to use. So it's a free trial sort of things. We can activate this with the trial. We require a Azure AD Premium tool. Okay, so this is the license we require to activate this one. Enterprise mobile game security. Okay, then we're going there. And this is the Azure Active Directory Premium 2 license is separately from Azure services. So we require this particular license. We need to activate this particular license, and then we can use it. Okay. And require the access layer sort of things. So we will go there and like which users we need to block, which users we need to enable it, providers sort of things, and we need to go there. Okay. In the Active Directory, we are going there, and these are some users. If you find out the username, this is Harish Reddy is a username. If we go there into the console of Harish Reddy, and you just find out the authentication contact information. Okay, so this is authentication methods, and then you just take a look. Let us suggest you this is the internet email ID. So this the email ID, the password will be OTP will be sent to the particular email ID. Okay, the access panel profiles. We have some different profile as well. Okay, so this is the profile is of the user. And this is the authentication mechanism you're going to use it. Okay, so password reset required register multi-factor authentications, revoke multi-factor authentication sort of things. Okay. And then what you're going to do is your rule assignments. So you have different rules you can assign to the users. What was the device was logged in, what was the user's license, okay, and the sign in information. So the, we have always available the logs, okay, trial, okay. So the locations and the IP addresses, the source name, browsers, where it is login. So it is used for the forensic investigations of multi-factor authentication sort of things, right? So here audit logs are also available same time, so we can find out if you are using this particular license. So we have availability of all sort of things, logs, availability, and anything like that. Okay, so assigned roles, we can provide some different roles. This is the global administrator of the user. Okay. So this sort of things working in the multi-factor authentication. Okay, so what we can do, we can also we can create the users inside your Active Directory. Okay, and then we can provide the multi-factor authentication sort of things. Okay, this is Azure free, AD free, so we don't have too much information aside this we require. Free to licenses. Okay, so I have to create the buff users, need to go there, and then we have to create the number of users we can create at the same time here. Okay, guys, so we will move back same things into review. So this is one of things, one thing I have. Okay, so you have mobile. You have first of all you using your username passwords. So suppose the hacker is going to access your hacking your username password from different tools. The second authentication will be your OTP will go into your mobile number. Okay, and then the third OTP will be going to your uh, personal email ID. Okay, and if you have configure some security questions sometimes. So what's your pet name? What's your likelihood? What childhood name? Sort of things. So security questions we gonna also provide at same time. And then this is 30, three-factor authentications. We have two-factor authentications. If you have two questions, then two-factor authentications. You have three questions, then we have three-factor authentications. Okay. And biometrics, I already suggested you the retina scanning sort of things. Biometrics, your fingerprint sensor sort of things. Okay, and something I possess. So RSA tokens, allowed devices, which devices allowed. So we have MAC binding sort of thing. Okay, suppose you have laptop, so you have specific MAC address, so it will be bind on the firewall devices. So these devices can access all things. Okay. So password cracking is a method of extracting the passwords to gain authorized access to the target system in the case of a legitimate user. Usually only the user name and password authentications are configured, but password authentication is moving toward two-factor authentications or multi-factor authentications, which include something you have such as username password and the biometrics. Password cracking may be permitted by social engineering, attack by or cracking, tampering the communications informations. Guessable password, short password, password with weak encryption, the password only cracking and turning the numbers. Okay, so this is the things what. So right currently we are using some different techniques of password creating, right? So if you're going here, then this is the applications you're going to use it. Okay, so not on applications you're going to use it for password generation. But this is 14 character password. This is you can go for the 26 characters of password. Okay, so this is the things available we have. Okay, so 44 character password. So you can create the different 64 maximum 64 character passwords. So it is alphanumerical, 8 digit, more than 8 digits is available, and different sort of passwords. So this password is you know what uh, taking lots of time. Okay, the hacker is not going to hack this particular password in time. Okay, so this is the sort of things you can use it, the password generator things you wanna install in your systems, and then you can provide some password. Okay, what type of characters, what type of number of digits you require. So you can use it. Okay, then you can go for different password, and you can copy from here, and then you can used for several different locations. Suppose I'm not going to and copy paste, same thing is available here. So password generator tools you can gonna use it for your applications. Okay, so the important to understand here. Okay, so this is the CS sensitive letters, special characters, numbers, lengthy password. So all things are available in this particular password generator applications. Currently. So past types of password attacks. So electronic attacks, active online attacks, passive online attacks, and default password and instant attacks. Okay. So non-electronic attacks. Okay. If you don't have to use any electronic devices to crack the password of the users. Okay. So non-electronic attacks are non-technical attacks are attacks which do not require any type of technical understanding and knowledge. This is the type of attack that can be done by the shoulder surfing. Okay. And social engineering and dumpster diving. Okay. For example, gathering username and password information standing behind the target is logging in. Okay, so you are standing behind the users. Suppose you are going to provide your password. Okay, and the next person is standing behind you. Okay, so this is called shoulder tapping. Okay, and you just taking some what ID and password from the we can say that with your marriage university, your date of birth, okay, and your favorite day, okay, or your mother date of birth, okay, and your debit card number, sort of things. Okay, so social engineering gonna use it sometimes. And dumpster diving is basically the password which you have write it down, okay, on the some papers. So you can just tear the paper and it will you have throw it into the dustbin. So the hacker is gonna be use the same paper and then they will going to access the same thing. So logging in and interacting with sensitive information is by shoulder surfing, password, account numbers. Basic information can be gathered depending on the clearness of the target. Okay, so active online attacks are dictionary attacks and the release history. So dictionary attacks are the perform password cracking. A password cracking application is used along with the dictionary file. The dictionary is file contains the entire dictionary or list of the known and common words framed by the password recovery. Okay, the password is simple. The simplest type of the password cracking. Usually, systems are not vulnerability of the dictionary attacks. Okay, so suppose you are going to use this sort of password like P capital P at rate W0RD. Okay, and suppose you're going to use P capital P capital A and planet. Okay, so this is the this sort of password is very is correct at any point of time. Okay, so the dictionary tag is basically find out this password. Okay, so it will take very less time to attack the password, guessing the password. Brute force attack is password is basically brute force attacks attempt to recover the password by trying every possible combination of characters. Okay, each combination's pattern is attempt until the password is accepted. Brute force forcing is a common and basic technique to uncover password. Okay, so you are just guessing the password for the users. And another thing is the hash injections. So you can wanna use for hash injections attacks, hashing and other cryptographic techniques analysis required in type of attack. So in the injections, you need to require some cryptographic knowledge is required. Okay, so attacker needs an extract user's log on hashes stored in security account manager SM file. Okay, so if you're talking about anybody that where the password is stored in the Windows operating system, so this is the same file into the operating system where all the passwords are there. Okay, so what is going to do? The hacker is going to provide some hash injections, okay, and they will going to access this particular same file. Okay, and by compromising a workstations or a server by exploiting the vulnerabilities, attacker gain access to the machine. Once it compromised the machine, it extracted the logon hashes of renewable users and admins. With the help of these extracted hashes, attacker logged onto the server like domains controller to exploit more action accounts. Okay, so we have some online attacks, we have some passive online attacks. So passive online attacks are performed without interfering with the target. Importance of these attacks is because of extraction of the password without delivering the injection information as it obtains password without directly robbing the target. The most common types of passive online attacks are so these are we have talking about till now it's online attacks. Okay, you use some hashing methods, you brute force attacks, you are using some brute force attacks sort of things. Okay, so this digital attacking sort of things, and it is required your digital uh, computers or whatever to using it. So we have passive online attacks. Our passive online attacks are performed without interfering with the target. The importance of these attacks is because of extraction of the password without revealing the information and obtains password without directly probing the target. The most common type of password attacks are there. The wire sniffing. So wire sniffing, packet sniffing is so you're just going to be sniffing the packets. So packet sniffing is process of sniffing the packet using packet sniffing tools within a local area networks by inspecting the captured packets, sensitive information, and passwords such as Telnet, FTP, SMTP logins, and script. There are different sniffing tools available. Can collect the packets going across the land, independent type of information gathering. Some sniffers tools are filtered such as sketch and certain types of packets. Okay, so we are going to use this particular tool is called uh, a Wireshark is a tools where we can snip in the packets. Okay, so we can understand if the application is HTTP sort of things and what type of packet is going on, what its protocol is going to work in some okay, and how much packet is going on. Okay, and we can capture OSI layers, all the 7 layers sort of things in this particular packet. Okay, so this is my wireless connection sometimes, and I'm going to use this particular connection. I'm going to enable it. Okay, and this is the capturing will be started right now. Okay, so what sort of things I'm going to be check it out. Okay, so all things that UDP packets is what is going to be checking up, and we will go and we have to stop this particular thing. Okay, and we have stopped this, and we have to go into particular things, and then we will just find out the things which we're talking about. Okay, so we have going to some HTTP packets. HTTP packets is there. Yes, we have some HTTP packages available. Okay, so this is frames. So as a security guys, you need to understand where the frames are working. So secure the frames is basically works on the data link layer. The switch is basically sending the frame source to destination side. Okay, so this is the things gonna working here. Okay, so packet is this is the second is going to be set the arrival time. Okay, the interface is basically talking about here. Frame number is there. Okay, so this is the things which is we gonna working into the switching. Okay, and then we have Ethernet. Okay, so this is the things about the netgear. This is my router. Okay, and this is the MAC address. Okay, so source is on pair. Okay, this is the MAC address is available at the same time. And if you go for further information, this address this one, globally unique address, factory default sort of thing. Okay, and this is the internet protocol. So it is basically works on the networking side, network layers, right? And then we have to find out some different versions. We have this one the length. Okay, this is the source IP address. This one, this is my IP address, and the packet is going to destination side is this 172.172.164, and it is used the internet version 4. Okay, this is version 4 we are going to use it. Okay, this is 20 bytes bit traffic, and differentiated traffic is basically there. Total length of the packet is 262 identifications, and time to live is 128. TCP protocol TCP is going to using, so it's a source and destination acknowledgement. Okay, it's relatively reliable protocols, and it is using six numbers. This is unique number, is 6 number, always be. Okay, we have source and destinations. We have to check up if we have been find any errors in this. This is transmission control protocol TCP, right? The source port 4567, destination port 80, sequencing 1, acknowledgement 1, length is 222. Okay, so this is the port is open, so we have to send it back to the particular things, and destination port will be 80. So this is the port is open from my end. Okay, this is my source end. the port will be sending. So we have going to use some hypertext protocol. Okay, so this is the HTTP sort of thing. This is the applications site. Okay, so once you're going to open some HTTP applications or browser, so it's application sort of things. So we have get one is zero. The cookies is available. So cookie position is user culture. US location displays. Google.com is hosting sort of things. And there's a Mozilla 5.0 version. I'm going to use it. Okay, and this is the URL I'm going to use www.google.com. I'm going to use it. Okay, now this is response time is 1659 seconds. So if you're going to return the google.com, it will be open sometimes. If I'm going to use some ID and password on the same on the HTTP site, so it will also share the ID and password. So you can select the ID and password same time here. Okay, so this is the we are just going to use some packet capturing packet sort of things. You can use this for Wireshark installations and you can just check it out everything and what sort of things we are just talking about here. Okay, every package capturing sort of things. So we have just going to study this Wireshark. So this is one tools. We have some other tools as well. We have going to use Nmap tools. Okay, we have we can install in the Kali Linux and we can also try to figure out what number of things like that, and we also use some trace of command. Okay, to what are different routes available like Cisco or research. Okay, so first of all, it is going with my router.login.com. I want to access particular things and then or connect this from the front end 1.1, and my router will be open center. I need to provide ID and password. Okay, so, and then it is going to the ISP and 42.1 and then it will be hopping 30 hops. It will be take. Okay, to reach the destination side. So how many number of routers are available to reach to the Cisco.com? The maximum 30 hops are available. Okay, this is counting this sort of things. So it will help you to trace the package of sort of things. Okay, then we are talking about man in the middle attack. So man in the middle attack is a type of attack in which attacker involves himself into the communications between other nodes. Man in the middle attacks can be explained as a router communicating with another user or server. An attacker inserts himself in between the conversation by sniffing and package of and generating man in the middle attacks or replay traffic. The following are some utilities available for attempting man in the middle attacks. Okay. So as I said, straight brush suit, okay, and the browser exploitation framework, okay. So these are some man in the middle attacks I'm gonna use it. Okay, so I think I have also installed the brush suit. I think as brush suit we have installing it, but it will take time to do the practical side of things. So we have separate classes for the Wireshark and map, work suit, and different tools. So we will just check it out, all sort of things. Okay. So SSL strip you can use it. So mostly Grubsuit is basically used any companies. We are also using Grubsuit. Okay. All sort of things. So it's old one, so I'm going to update it. I will show you how it looks like. So you have familiar with this particular tool. Okay, so we will go further. So original communications with the source and user and the actions and the packet sniffing. So the attacker is going to be sniffing the packet. So he can use this particular tool like we are using this particular Wireshark and the client and server communications, and I'm going to snip the packets and I'm going to understand how things are going on. Okay, so everything is I can check it out. Okay, manage the mail tag, so you can use this particular brush suit is one of them. Okay, and then you can find out what are different things are working at the same time. Okay, so for some destinations we can package snipping. Okay, so suppose it's a HTTP traffic. Okay, so it's not encrypted packet, so you can use Wireshark and then the ID and password will be available, so you can also provide the same connectivity to the destination side. Okay, and the talking about this one. Okay, so replay attack. So in replay attack, attacker captures packet using packet sniper tools. Once packets are captured, relevant information such as passwords is extracted by generating replay traffic with the injections of executed extracted information. Attacker gain access to the systems. So default password. We should not use any default password, so it will be easily crackable. Okay. So this is the default passwords password database.com. You can into online tools available. System default password. Okay. Suppose I'm going to use this one. Password database.com. Here it's not available, so very correct something like that. Is there, okay? Okay, so online tools for default passwords. So we have CIRT.net. So we are going to check it out. CIRT.net. Whether we have got something like that or not. Because it's okay. So this is the default password sort of things. Suppose if we're talking about you have using some tools like we can say that Netgear. Okay, you have I have Netgear device. Routers available. What is the default ID and password? So I can just take a look. If the version is MR814, is admin, and the password is password, and the admission. I have a DSL router, then I have the method is telnet and web, and the pass user ID is admin, and password is 124. Okay. So suppose if you, I will give you some example. Suppose you have Cisco device available, Cisco device. Okay, so if your Cisco device is available, then the ID and password is you have mentioned. Okay. The default ID and password. You don't have to go anywhere. Okay. This is the ID and password for Cisco. Suppose you have say some D-Link device. Okay, suppose you purchase the D-Link device, then you have some ID and password. Default ID and password will be available. So these are some ID password you can use it. So this is first of all check the models of your device. Okay, if your models is matched over there, then you can use this password. admin, password is none, and the ownership is 0. Okay, so this is default information. Suppose in any company where you going and uh, that the administrator or any person is not going to use any uh, password. Okay, default password they are using it mostly times. So you can crack this particular password from this particular app. So what is a vendor name? You need to understand on the vendor name. Okay, suppose I'm talking about some Adobe. This is Adobe is there, and what is the default ID and password for that? So you can just go to region or options. Whatever you have, you can just go into the same side of things. Suppose this is the documentations are available. So it's getting the error messages. No problem with this. The things gonna work as I suggested to you. So you can just take a look at your home. Okay, this is the things you need to provide some random name. Okay, then you just going to check the default passwords. Apply attacks pre-computed process and Envo tables. So you need to install the Envo tables into the system to generate the password. So this is MD5, MD2, MD5, MD5 is the encryption is gonna work. Okay. So the Envo tables you need to install it. Okay, and then you can use this to add table. Okay, and then you're just going to use how much password, what length of the password. Okay, so 7, 9, 8, 10. Okay, and test number of things you need to provide here. Number of tables you can edit. So this is alpha set of this benchmark. You can gonna use it, and then you can create some files. So this is the compute sort of things. So this is it just particularly provide you the password sort of things. So this going to be download sometime later. So we'll set like okay, so these are the things you want to use it. And password guessing, you can just guess the password of the user. And USB drives, you can also take a USB drive to collect the password. So my question is basically to use suppose you are using an admin Windows Server 2003 2007 we're using it password correct. Okay. So how do you do that? You can create a bootable USB drive. Okay, and then you need to provide some command line tools. You need to provide some commands. I will let you know how it looks like. So this is available. So you can here. This is the tools you can use it by passing it this recovery tool. This is also one use. Okay, boot from the POP. So you try insert the USB to your locked Windows 10 computer boot from the PC. Okay, so you have bootable drive. Okay, then you go to Dell F2, Dell or F2 in the BIOS. You have to go there in the BIOS. Okay, and then you have to BIOS reboot and log the things in. Okay, so these are some common methods you can going to use online tools to unlock your passwords. Okay, of your Windows 7 smartphone. Okay, bypassing the password. So this is the utilmon.exe ID you want to use it for bypassing the password Windows 7. Okay. So we have different combinations to doing it. Okay, so go to C drive and CD system, Windows system 32 and write down the utilmon.exe. So the password is saved in utilmon.exe. Okay, so you just replace the name of utilmon.exe. Okay, and then the password is going to be asked again. And you can change your password same times. Okay, so this is the copy and utilmon. This is the exe need to be replaced. Okay, just changes particular exe. Okay, changes exe and then you're bypassing the password. It is asking you the password same time. So this is the exe I'm going to be done here. Okay, so start that password as injections you can use it. This is how things is not here. Micro authentication, so we have some authentications of authentication from the Microsoft end. Suppose you are using Windows system, authentication for in computer networking authentication is verification process to identify any user or device. When you authenticate an entity, the motive of authentication is to validate if the device is legitimate or not. When you authenticate the users, it means you are verifying the actual user against the imposter. With Microsoft platform, operating systems implements a default set of authentication protocol, including Kerberos. Okay, security account manager SAM. This is the file that is stored in the passwords. Anti-LAN manager NTLM and LM. And other authentication mechanisms. These protocols are authentication users in computers and services. So how to SAM? Security account manager. Security account manager is a database that stores credentials and other account parameters such as password for the authentication process in Windows operating system. Okay, so what you're going to do is this is the SAM file. SAM file is all the authentication and your password are stored in this SAM file. So Windows operating Windows Microsoft platform SAM database contains password in a hashed form. Okay, so you're just going to do in the hashed form. Password is available. Other account information. Okay. While the operating system is running, this database is locked to be accessed by any other service processes. There are several other security algorithms are applied to the database to secure and validate the integrity of the data. Okay, so Microsoft Windows store password is LM. Okay, so this is the SAM files you need to understand. Okay, security account manager. And security account manager. Okay, this is hash format. You just find out. Okay, so we'll below are the configurations. Username this is LM hash is no password hash method is available. So what is Windows system? Windows system ready to configure and send. Okay, so we're just going to check it out. Windows system ready to and config file and SAM file. Config issues, I have to use the variability, and this is SAM file. Okay, so this is a SAM file is available. Copy this particular file. We have to paste it on the system. So this one going to this paste system. This action can't be committed because the file is open in the system. Okay, so I just log into the system, so that is why it's not going to be accessing the same thing. Okay, so the same file store all the passwords. Simple things. Okay, so this is same file we have find out. NTLM. Okay, so NTLM how it's working. So network NTLM manager is a property of authentication protocol by Microsoft. NTLM authentication process user sends login credentials to a domain controller. Okay, and domain controller responds a challenge known as nonce to be encrypted by the password hash. This challenge is a 16-byte random number generated by the domain controllers. By comparing the received encrypted challenge with the database, domain controller permit or deny the login session. Microsoft has updated its default authentication system. So this is NTLM sort of things. Okay, so how do you find out the NTLM authentication was used as older, versions of the operating systems of Microsoft? Okay, so this is your domain controller. Okay, so domain controller is a Windows Server 2003 or Windows 2008 or Windows 2016 or 19 Active Directory. So I would like to understand from your side, guys, are you worked on Windows controllers till now or not? Domain controller, Windows Active Directory.
Yes, sir. I
Yes.
have worked in Windows Server 2012.
Okay, so what is the how can the authentication process going on? Suppose you have created on the user in the Active Directory, and how the user is going to be login. Okay, and what is authentication mechanism going to work in?
Yes, sir. What you are asking?
What is the authentication mechanism of Active Directory?
Okay, how to authenticate a user, like how to create a user.
How is authentication? Suppose you have created the user into the Active Directory,
Okay.
and user is going to log into the system.
Yes.
Okay. How is the authentication mechanism going to work in?
So user has to set the password once he logs in, first login.
Yes. What is the things in backend?
So while creating the user, we have to enable that one, that user must change password on first login. So when the user will log in, he has to give the password, new password.
No. I'm not talking about this one. I'm talking about what are the backend processes going on with the user side, client side, and also the server side.
Okay, so once the user logs in, it will go to the server, and if the user account is there, then only he can log in.
No, I'm not talking about this one. Yes, we have created the user, and
Yeah.
user is available on the your Active Directory, and you just providing the ID and password to the users, and the user is going to log into their system with the same ID and password. So what are the processes working in the Active Directory system? How the user is authentication working?
That I don't know, sir.
Okay, no problem. Just try to learn of the mechanism. Okay, domain controllers. This is your domain controller. Users login in the system. users credentials. We just find out things. Okay, so another questions we have operating system. Suppose you are using Windows operating system, so where we find the password file. Okay, so this is the all the password is encrypted. Yes, we need to decrypt, but the same file is basically is available for the Windows operating systems. Okay, and in the Linux platforms, this is shadow is there. Passwords are stored. You're talking about some domain controller for the Windows platform to enter ts.it file is in the Windows 2003 server, 8 server, 1912 server. Okay, so all the passwords are available in this. All passwords are encrypted. We need to decrypt things for of things. Okay, so the Cabros is also the protocols is going to use it. So Microsoft Cabros authentication protocol is an advanced authentication protocol. In Cabros, client receives tickets from Cabros. Okay, and the key distribution center KDC. KDC depends upon the following components. Okay, so Cabros and LDAP. These are some protocols basically it is used in. So LDAP is likely directory access protocol. Cabros is basically it is used for the Microsoft authentication protocol. Okay. So in the Cabros, what is going on basically? If we're talking about the Cabros, what are the things? Study here. So it's a micro authentication protocol. So client receives the tickets from ticket generation KDC. Okay. Cabros key distribution centers KDC is going to work in some time. So authentication servers ticket granting server is there same time. Okay. One stop login. So TGT request, TGT plus session key sort of things. So authentication servers, ticketing generating servers. So this is also ticketing sort of things in our. So just to take a look, Cabros, and little bit of depth about this. Password sorting is basically password sorting is the process of adding additional characters in the password to one-way function. This addition is of characters makes the password more difficult to reverse the hash. Major advantage of primary function of the password sorting is to defeat the dictionary attack and pre-computer attacks. Consider the following examples. One of the hash value is of the password is without sorting, while another hash value is in password with sorting. Okay, so without sorting, this is the sort of things hash value is there. Okay, once you have sorted, we have additional one number is attached. Okay, so this is the hashing values of the sort of things. The password sorting is basically is you need to provide some more characters into your password. So we have also hashing calculators is available online tools. Okay. Suppose I will going to tell you how this looks like. So we have to Google available and hashing calculator. This is the things available. Okay. And we can go use this particular algorithms. This is the MD2, MD4, MD5, SHA1. This is the types of algorithms available here. This is encryption algorithms we have. Okay. Suppose we are going to use some MD5. Okay. And then we have to provide the password E @W0R. Suppose this is the password you're using it. And we need to calculate the hashing, okay, of this particular password. And this is the algorithm where you're going to use it. So hash this. So this is the result. Okay, so this is your hashing value, the password. So we are just talking about here, right? So this is your hashing algorithm where you're going. Okay. So password sorting is basically thing is there we're talking about here. Suppose this is things one and I'm going to add one more character to password one, and then I'm going to check the hashing key. So it is some different. Okay, more correct sort of things. So if you're going to use some different algorithms like we are using SHA-256, okay, and then we calculate the thing. Okay, so it's more critical for the hackers to find out the hashing value, right? And suppose we are going to use some different algorithms for SHA-512. Okay, so this is the hashing we're going to calculate. So this is the hash. So no one can going to be no one going to be hack your password because you're using as a SHA-512 key algorithm. Okay, so we have lower encryption structure and we have higher technology as well. Okay, so this is MD2 if I'm going to use it. Very so this is the hashing value. Okay. So it is possible that it can be hacked for the users, but if you're going to use some more, you know what, tough algorithms we are going to use it. So it's very tough for the hacker to crack your password. Okay. So this is the tools you can use it for the hashing calculation sort of things. Okay. Hashing calculator we're going to use it. Where it is? Just have to- What happened? You need to use which exception okay. So which algorithms we're going to use it. That's it. That's the reason you need to decide it. Okay. And the calculator will be simple. Okay. So you can use this for hashing calculators to check it out the things. Okay, we will move further. Password cracking tools. We have some. So these are some tools name for password cracking tools. So PW dump 7, FG dump, L0, crack, overhead, Rainbow crack, Ken and Abel, John the Reaper, and many more. Okay, so John the Reaper is very favorite sort of cracking the password. Okay, so John the Reaper is basically you just find out into the Kali Linux. Once we're going in the practical sessions, we will just take a look to John the Reapers and more of we have some different offer crack. These are some softwares you're going to install it in your systems and then just take a look and let me know if you feel any issues. Okay, so these are different tools available in the market right now. Okay, so if I'm just talking about here, so these tools are basically online available. Okay, okay. So operating system like Windows. Okay, so we have different rainbow tables which of now Kate and Abel, John the Reaper, also have okay, Airstack AKG. Okay, so we have different tools available. Okay, so these are the some tools you can gonna use it for the password tools. You need to install in your systems and then just take a look at what's the things you will use there. These are the password tools. Okay, and this is the most and popular password cracking tools. So you just find out here because it will be changed at any point of time. You just take a look at what is the best cracking tools for the password. Okay, so password taking countermeasures a password sizing. Okay, so password sizing means that you need to add more and more characters, so your hash is or your hash value will be changed sometimes. Okay, and you need to decide that what type of uh, hashing encryption algorithm you're gonna use it. The passwords are being used. Enable SysKey. Okay, SysKey is basically enabled in different devices available. So the keys will be coming different kind of things. Password encryptions you can do for the password encryptions. Do not use guessable passwords. Change default passwords. So the default passwords we have already selected different vendors available, and we going for the default ID and password will be available of each vendors. Okay, and do not use guessable password. So the brute force attacks. Okay, then the dictionary attacks sort of into keylogger and these sort of things in what your password will be correct. And do not store safe password in application and browsers. Okay, so matter of fact that if you're going to go there and then here in this in what the settings you will find out your all the password will be here. Okay, so you do not save your password here. And then there's locations in this video all the passwords will be saved there locations. Okay, so you don't need to be save your password here and do not password save in. Okay, so these are some applications. So these are the passwords are available in. Okay, so you can go in there and then you click here. Password is here. Okay, and also just find out here. So we have different things available. Suppose it's admin key and the password is admin, and then I'm going to use an admin password. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going here and remove it. So I'm going for more details. So this is the device name, website, username, and the password. Okay, so you can use it simple. So never save your password here, but mostly if you are secure, if your system is basically a home system, so if the hacker is going to hack, so nothing is fine on the hacker system. But in the official systems, you have to store some different things. Okay, so that is why we are using some note on. Okay, so just log in here and just find out some different password valuable. Okay, so it's very important. You can just store your application. Okay, come to the note on light left. Okay, so this is the things available. Email and password will be saved the same time. Okay, so if it is not only going to be hacked, then everything will be hacked in the same thing. Okay. So the password application is out. Okay, so and do not save your password into this Excel file, Word file, or Notepad. Okay, so it will be hacked at any point of time. So set long password. So my request is going to you can go for some multi-factor authentication apps. So suppose where are we going to save your password? Okay, the question is there. We can go google.com and then multi-factor authentication apps for password. Okay, so, so we have different applications available. Okay, so we have images available. So we have Microsoft, we have Cisco. Okay, so multi-factor authentication app for Windows. Okay, so we can use Microsoft Authenticator app. We can use the Cisco uh, tools. We can use for what different tools available. If you're going to use this one, this is Microsoft Authenticator app. You can use it. Okay, install on your systems and what you're going to log into your Microsoft, the OTP will be generated in the same product. Okay, and if you're going to use some Cisco, okay, so this we have also for MFA for Cisco as well. So also is available in the market, right? For multiple authentications or options. So the matter of fact that somebody will hack your password, but the OTP will be coming to your mobile. Okay, the OTP will be coming to your email ID, customer email ID. OTP and you need to provide some security answers. Okay, and suppose the wrong password, then the hacker is going to forget password, and then the password will be going to your personal email at the same time. So this is the what use cases you're gonna use it for your serial passwords. State logon password containing alphanumerical combinations and US uppercase. So that is why I'm suggest you that you can gonna use it some Norton particular applications. So that your password will be is different. Okay, you can also install this particular application to your system as well. Password generator. Okay, so password generator. Yeah, different companies are providing some password generator. Okay, so you can use this particular password generator. Okay, so how much keys you require? So it's a separate set of things. So we'll move further. Okay, so this is the answers. Keep credentials secure and secure. So this is your what credentials will be secure and secure sort of things you need to be go for it. Advanced security audits, so you need to go for some security audits same time. Suppose I'm going to use some Whiteshot, I'm going to use Nmap, I'm going to use some different tools like I'm talking about earlier. So check your password is in your app or not app sort of things. Periodically update passwords. So every 90 days the password will be expired sort of policies need to be numbered. Okay, so you can check it out. Password will be updated every 90 days. Monitors used for attacks. Okay, so you can just going to check the password users for groups for attacks. You can use it. Different password for each service and applications, right? Configure policies for what password accounts. We can create a policies if the user is going to log in 3 times wrong password, then the ID will be not locked 10 times. Same thing is applied on the two sort of thing. Okay, so password cracking tools for Dumbstone 7. Okay, tool. So this is the tool. So this is the things we can write here. So CMD and WMIC user account. Yes. Okay. So these are the usernames available. Aditi administrator before the account guest and update user and WGO account. So these are the sub usernames available and this is the IDs available. So how many number of users in my system? So I can just check it out this. Then I can use pwd7.exe. So I'm going to check them down. So I need to install first of all this particular exe in my system. Then it is going to work. Okay, so we're going to hash, then it is going to be calculating the hashes. So this is the hash values coming. The hash value is available on my same file, same thing. Okay. You also go in the same sort of thing, same thing, same thing. Okay, so it's a load, this is operating, this is the particular tools you can use it. PWM file. This is the operation files you need to be right here. Okay, and this is basic number. Okay, so it's just going to be it's sometimes correct or sometimes not. This is showing sometimes. Actually, it is able to calculate the things. Okay, so that's going to be coming. Not able to. If the hash value is what the difficult sort of things, so it will not be calculating the things. Okay, so this is the price you can integrate. So we have some authorized privilege escalations for further classification into two types: horizontal privilege escalation and vertical privilege escalation. So horizontal privilege escalation is known here. Horizontal privilege escalations where an attacker attempts to take command over the privileges of another user having the same set of privileges for this account. Horizontal privileges escalation occurs when an attacker is attempting to gain access to the same set of resources allowed for the particular user. So we have example is available. So horizontal is escalations by considering and operating systems having multiple users, including administrators have full privileges user A, user B, and so on, having limited privileges to run applications only. This is the practical side of things. So privilege escalating using really hijacking. So you can what applications system need dynamic link libraries, so DLL files is found out in the system or executable files to run. In Windows operating systems, most of the applications search for DLL in directories instead of using the fully qualified path. So the technical advantage of this document DLL is replacing malicious DLL. Okay? So we have different DLL files available. So you can replace the DLL files in the DLL files. Just take a look here. Have any DLL files available? So these all are the DLL files. What does it mean? This all are DLL files. So we can replace with this particular credentials of post.dl files with a malicious DL files and okay. DL is replacing malicious DLs. Once these DLs are renamed with exactly the same name or legitimate DLS and replaced with a directory, the executable file will load malicious DL application directory instead of DL. Okay. So you can change this, replace the name of existing DL files, and then we can provide some malicious DL files. And once the application is gonna run it, so the malicious things spread into the system. So attacker loads malicious DLs the application directory, sometimes malicious DL. Okay, and the user is application loads the malicious DL. Okay, sometimes the user runs the applications or user into the applications. And the application directory is basically executable files and malicious files. And the attacker gains remote access to the privileges application directory. So we have different DLS files for remote desktop sort of things. So we replace this particular DLS files to the system. So DLL hijacking tools such as Metasploit can be used for generating DLL scripts, attacks with the sessions with privileges. This generated malicious DLL is renamed and tested directory. When application runs, it will be open for session and system release. Those platform manage DLL specify a registry key. Okay, so you can go for the registry for a key and then you can find out the keys, DLL files. You need to replace the particular DLL files from here. Administrator system priority and Windows directory. Okay, so you just have a number of okay, so it's executing applications sort of things coming. So remote exec is available. Remote exec is a software designed for installation of application executed on the code shipped remotely. The additional remote exec can update file on the target system on a network, another feature in the deployed packages on the target systems, remotely execution of the program scripts. So I think we have available the remote is a file, so we can just want to modify the remote exec files. The remote exec is a particular active, so and then we do the script sort of things. What sort of this will be work? PGP requirement, keylogger is one of them. So logger is a keystroke logging, key logging, and the keyboard capturing is a process of monitoring or recording the actions performed by any user, such as monitoring the user using keyboard using keyloggers, Keyloggers can be either hardware or software. Okay. The major purpose of using keyloggers are monitoring data copied to the clipboard, screenshots captured by the users, sustained logic by capturing a screenshot of every moment even just clicked. So, okay, so the keylogger, how it's working? So the whatever your keystroke, okay, so the hardware keyloggers, we have software keyloggers. So we have two types of keyloggers. So we are just talking about some keyloggers on software side. So kernel keyloggers perform grabbing based keyloggers, hypervisor based keyloggers, and application keyloggers. Okay, applications we have keyloggers are available. We have hypervisor based keyloggers. We have grabbing based keyloggers and kernel grabbing loggers available. Okay, so hardware PC BIOS enabled keyloggers. Okay, so this will change your BIOS setting. Okay, so this is keyloggers we can do. Keyloggers keyboard. Okay, so we can also use the keyboard whatever the users want to hit on the keyboard side. This is a hardware keyloggers and things will be coming. Okay, external keyloggers is PS2 keylogger. Your mouse. Okay, the USB keyloggers are often there. So acoustic keyloggers, Bluetooth keylogger, and Wi-Fi keylogger or video keylogger. So these are some types of keyloggers. Okay, so keylogger basically it is used for your taking the advantage of the access of the system. So we have software keyloggers, we have hardware keyloggers, and we have PC BIOS enabled keyloggers and keyloggers keyboard and external keyloggers like PS2 mode. Okay, so loggers USB sort of things, Bluetooth and video keyloggers like Wi-Fi keyloggers. We have application keyloggers available. We have hypervisor based keyloggers and some grabbing based keyloggers. Okay, so this is all things that will be available in the application keyloggers, kernel keyloggers, hypervisor keyloggers, and the information BIOS keyloggers. How it's going to work in the this is keylogger USB available. Anti keyloggers. Okay, so we have you can go and just check it out. This keyloggers compromise first ideas, physical marketing and success security, files and selects. So we have some spyware. Spyware are the software designed for gathering user interaction information with the system such as email addresses, login credentials, and other details without informing the users of the target system. Mostly spyware is used for tracking internet interaction of the users. This gathered information is sent to a remote destination. Spyware hides its files and processes the other protection. Okay, so adware system monitors, tracking cookies, and trojans. So the spywares have the information of what type of internet connectivity you're using, what type of sites you're going to access. Okay, so your internet connectivity is basically find out. Okay, and it will share information to the hacker SIM card. Okay, so adware. Okay, suppose you're going to open, any website. Okay, mostly this all sort of things comes to picture into the gaming sites. Okay, so I'm just going to open cisco.com and this is this particular thing. So you are on the India website level here. This is adware. Okay, just providing some adware for information. Okay, so learn more for it. So if I'm going to open any gaming site or if I'm going to open any movies, those sort of things. So these are the basically targeting of the hackers to what gaining the access of the users, the activity sort of thing. Okay, so advertisement sort of thing. You can say that system monitors. Okay, monitor systems tracking cookies. Okay, what type of cookies are in the system important. Features of spyware is basically here. So tracking users such as key logging. Okay, what type of key logging things you're going to do it or definition, right? Monitors user activities such as website visiting, reports conversations, blocking application and services, remote delivery of logs, email communication tracking, recording by media, combinations like USB, voice recording, video recording, tracking locations like GPS locations. So spyware basically what we can do for all of them because it is impacting lots of things, mobile tracking sort of thing, like hiding files. Okay, so this we have going to use some hiding files, so we are going to use some rootkits. So a rootkit is a collection of software designed to provide privileged access to a remote user over the target system. Okay? And mostly rootkits are the collection of malicious software deployed after an attack. Okay, when the attacker has the administrative access to the target system to maintain its privileged access for future, it creates a backdoor for an attacker. Rootkits often mask the existence of its software, which helps to avoid protection. Okay? So suppose the hacker is going to be have the system, okay, and he has the administrative privileges of the account on the system, okay, on the user side. Okay, so there is he going to install some rootkits into the system, okay. So it's a hidden software, okay. It's a backdoor sort of things. It creates a backdoor for an attacker, okay. So the attacker can be getting the access any point of time. So this is what I'm talking about the NHS view, okay. So I'm just going to check it out. I have to install the rootkits into the system, okay, and I'm going to hide these particular applications, and then I can use it getting the access any point of time. So application level rootkits, kernel level rootkits, okay, hardware and firmware level rootkits, we have different sort of rootkits we can want to install into the systems and we hide this particular uh, application sort of things, and then it will become otherwise for bootloader level rootkits, okay, so we can watch some master boot report, okay, so boot sectors it can attack full disk encryption systems, hack encryption keys for password, okay, rootkit tools is Avtar, secures and Azure and Mirror accesses. So these are the some tools and you can use it for the rootkit sort of things, detecting and defending rootkits. Okay, so digital signatures. So how to detect and defending the rootkits. So integrated based detecting, digital signatures we can use it. So that there is the client to server communication sort of things. Reference based detections, behavioral detections. Okay, so what are behavioral detections? Memory dumps. Okay, and other approaches can be used for detecting rootkits. Unix platform rootkit detections tools such as Repo, Unix platform for rootkit, and other tools are available for detection in Windows. Microsoft System Internals rootkit, regular, Avast, and support anti-rootkit software is available. So you can install this particular Avast and supports and anti-rootkit software in the system, so they will provide information that this is hidden information can be outside or not. So this is the testing and defending attacks. Okay, so we need to some sort of things. So NTFS data streaming is basically NTFS stands for New Technology File System. Your hard disk is the file system is NTFS. The FAT32 ext3. So data stream. Okay, so in Windows, proprietary file systems by Microsoft NTFS was a default file system of Windows NT 2.1. It is also the primary file system for Windows 10, Windows 8, Windows 7, okay, and Windows Vista XP, Windows Enhanced, and Windows NT. Okay. So if you're going to use some Windows operating systems, okay, so uh, the database of your hard disk, okay, so this is technology file system, going to use some default file system of your hard disk. Okay, you have to store your data in Windows NTFS format. Okay, so this is a Windows NT 3.1. This primary system of Windows 10 going to use store some files into the Windows 10 hard disk. Okay, so it is a file system is NTFS. Okay, if you're going to use, you're going to store some files or data into this MacBook. Okay, so the Apple software, so, what the MacBooks or MacBook Air OS operating systems. Okay, so it is ext3 is the name of the file system. We have some different file systems for Linux environment, different file systems for MacBook operating systems. We have different file systems for Windows platforms sometimes. Okay, so we have talking about the NTFS format and FAT32 for Windows platform environment. Okay. So we have alternate data stream. So alternate data stream is the file attributes in NTFS file system. This feature of NTFS contains metadata locating particular file. ADS features was introduced to Macintosh. The Raspberry Pi system HFS ADS is capable of hiding the data and system without modifying and any noticeable chances in the practical environment. ADS is a great threat to security because of its data hiding capacity, which can hide the malicious piece of data, including file and student that was decided. Okay, so NTFS file system is just talking about here, this side, CD, and then just talk about next. So you can just going to use this particular software to hidden files. You just find out the then we have classification of stratigraphy. Stratigraphy classifies two technical and linguistic stratigraphy. Technical stratigraphy includes counseling informations using methods like using invisible ink and marker and method to hide information. And linguistic stratigraphy uses text as covering media to hide information like using ciphers and code to hide information. So this is stratigraphy is technical stratigraphy and linguistic stratigraphy we are talking about here. Okay, and we're talking about some linguistic stratigraphies and the semograms and open codes is there. Okay, so we have some open semograms is visual signatures and text semograms and open codes are jargon code and covered cipher. Then the side and the result. Okay, so type of stratigraphy is basically white space stratigraphy, image stratigraphy, document stratigraphy, video stratigraphy, audio stratigraphy, and folder stratigraphy. We are going to use it. So what is meant? We are going to hide this particular folders file to first snap email stratigraphy sort of things. Okay, so these are the type of stratigraphy. Okay, so blog stratigraphy, visual stratigraphy, signatures using network protocols. Okay, white space stratigraphy. What does it mean? So white space stratigraphy is the technique to hide information in text file using extra blank space inserted in between words. Particular method is added in blank spaces using else result helpful and comparisons methods to find of the as is decreased. So stenography is a great facility to files you can use it. To exercise create a text file and data. The Snow tool is installed. Okay? So you can also use some Snow tool you can install it and go to command prompt and change the directory to the one Snow tool. You can just change the directory, C drive to P drive, password sort of things. Right? And for the directory hello world that is open the file. Hello world is there. Image stenography. Use some applications sort of thing. So we have different tools available. So what is the text file? Try to install all the software just document here. So stigmasis. Stigmasis is an analysis of suspected information using stenography techniques to discover the retrieve the hidden information String analysis inspect if any image is containing encrypted data, accuracy, static and noisy shapes are inaccurate. Challenge of sonography's analysis to detect the encrypted data. So what happens if you have done the stenography or not stenography sort of things, hidden things available, not things available, so we need to prefer stenography sort of things. Stego only is basically covering text. Okay, so disable auditing, reading logs, and manipulating logs. Okay, so once the hacker is going to be hack the system, okay, and then he need to be covering the tracks. Okay, he need to be clear the logs, disable the logs. Okay, and clearing the logs and disable auditing sort of things. Okay, and manipulating the logs after gaining access. Escalating previous executing the applications. The next step is to wipe and the evidence to get that. Okay, in this case, the covering track attacker removes all the event logs, error messages, and other evidence to prevent its attack from being covered easily. The most common techniques that are often used by attackers to cover the tracks, like disabling politics, elevating logs, and manipulating logs. So what does it mean? So disabling politics means that the best approach to avoid detection, preventing another security mechanism to indicate or alert or any sort of intrusion in living the track the target machines. The best practice for living no track prevent detection or living very limited evidence on target is by disabling the auditing as you track the target system. When you disable auditing on the target machine, it will not only prevent to log events but also resist in the detection. Auditing in a system is enabled to detect and correct events. Once auditing is disabled, okay, target machines will not be able to log to the critical and important logs, not only the evidence of an control source of information about the authorities. Types of following command to test the auditing categories. Okay. So audit fault is dot categories less read. So this instrument use it. So system started to go to the CMD. We went to the CD, SIS system 32. Create power, all space, list, space, category, slash problem landscape. so there is no mapping between account and the secure IDs was done. So what you can just try to get this information from this system. So audit call, of course, less category, but start items of the is it regular things? Regular hashtag same thing as well. So there is going to be some problem with the system providing this correct payment. So you can just using your systems. It would be called all the policies are already set up. What policy for the categories. Okay, so this is the information you try to do on your system. But whatever the other policies is available, so it will be can do some and we have clearing lots of changes. Go to control panel and then system and the region manager, issue tools, event tool, event set of principles. Just like control D, so which and then the event here is available. So this is your systems notes, custom tools, custom. I can just check it out. Okay. Logs again. So I can clear the logs anytime. So no one, if I'm going to do auditing or forensic investigation, so if I don't have the evidence available, if I don't have uh, the, the proof is not available, so it is not, I'm not going to check it out anything. So this is the application log system that startup that's available everything. So we so this is some information. We have the different error system, same errors available, graphics of errors, there's a number of things we can do. You can clear the special box, clear logs. So you can just clear it and program can just look at so that it's in the box of donor side, so we are using plus. Okay, then slash we are there. Plus we are file. Okay, go to box folder and block folders. Then select envelope file. then we can delete all the property. Delete that thing. So no one can practice it. So as per this, we have second out the having the lock process, we can use some basic cleaner or it called .exe, the logs.exe, and I use Plaster. So here are the tools you can use it with here all the logs. You can modify the logs, okay? You can change the logs, timestamp, clearing the log files, you can create the log files. Here most recent is MIT. So most recent things you're gonna explore. Clear the cache systems, clear the cookies, disabling all day, and clear temporary file. So these are the things you can do to covering that. Okay? Okay. So what you're going to do, you need to understand the system security attacks, covering, and stenography. Okay. And password correctly. We have some tools command line. Okay. So try to do all the things in time. Okay. Just create a project.
Yeah, okay.
Then we will create a class.